I am in Sham Shui Po with Anne. You met her in a previous video, but I don't know if it's going to come out prior to this video or after this video. I haven't decided yet because I don't have an Apple Mac to do my video editing with. Long story short, we're in SSP, Sham Shui Po, Sham Shui Po, Sham Shui Po. There's many names for this place because it's sort of seen as the seedier side of Hong Kong, more so than Bangkok. And there's, have you noticed, do you feel safe in Bangkok? Sham Shui Po as a woman?
Yep. I don't have any problem with it. Like, I go running in the middle of the night.
Oh yeah, you said.
Yes, and there's nothing.
No one ever bothers you.
Yep.
So think about that. This is one of those potentially seedier, more dangerous areas, and yet we have a young lady who can run at night and not feel at all bothered by people.
Yeah, as long as I didn't, like, you know, they don't want to get in touch with me or whatever, but I don't care.
Yeah, that's good. So we're on the top of the 5th floor of this building of Apple Dorms, and Apple Dorms is a business that I used to work with, kind of, where if I brought prospective students, so teachers, to Hong Kong to work here, then if you want cheap rent, then you come to Apple Dorms. But I've just been on one of the floors and I thought, no, I can't do that. So it's definitely, I hate to say this because now I sound older, it's going to be a young person's game if you can deal with living here. Sharing the space. You can see the washing machine here. Outside, rooftop washing, which could be interesting.
Which one? The what is sharing your clothes there inside?
Just sharing and trusting everybody not to nick your, not to rob and steal your stuff.
Oh,
I say that.
So far
yeah,
no.
You've just proved that SSP is really safe.
This is very safe because anywhere of the corner here, you can see there's like a CCTV camera here.
Oh, there is?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
But that's it, as you said, not really good for business unless you are like saving a lot of money.
That's true. If you just want to be a transient worker in Hong Kong, then I guess it is perfect. You can maximize your savings coming here.
If it is okay with you, with dealing like surprising every day, like when you go to toilet and don't expect it is very clean.
Yeah.
Expect the unexpected things.
I mean, I could stay here. I could stay here for a day or a week, no problem. But if I wanted to live and have personal items, collect, I don't trust people, and I don't trust people with my stuff, but I also don't trust other people with the silence to keep the noise down.
Yeah, you can.
I'm not that old, but I'm a light sleeper. And I like my sleep. So anyway, we're going to make this really quick because Anne is leaving Hong Kong. You're going back to the motherland, that is the Philippines, tomorrow morning on an early flight.
Yep.
And how long have you been in Hong Kong?
It's more than 8 years.
8 years. Right. And I got the sense, and maybe if you've seen the other video, I definitely got the sense that you've been restricted while living here because of the terms of your employment, with the nature of the work that you do. And in my mind, if someone's been here for 8 years, they should know it really well, to a large degree. But do you want to explain straight away some of the limitations?
Yeah, there's a lot of limitations when you are like from Philippines. Not maybe all of the Filipinos came here and they have like restriction. It just depends on the visa that they are holding. Me, I'm holding a visa like domestic helper. So if you are like holding a domestic helper visa, you just only the scope of work that you need to do it. It's just only under with your employer.
Yeah.
That is the only way. And then if you are like exceeding on that, like you are working outside or have another part, then that is really against the law. So but then if you are like coming here, same as your visa, like a working visa with the company, under the company, or you are a skilled one. So anyway, most of the domestic helper here, they are graduated a college degree from Philippines.
But they can't use it here.
But yes, they can use it. Maybe they can if there's somebody hire them. But that is really not easy for us to come here with a skilled visa or skilled how do you call this one? Working visa.
Yeah.
There's a lot of processing you undergo in Philippines, and it's like a little bit expensive.
But doesn't the Hong Kong government conveniently not recognize certain qualifications from your country, so then you can't be a teacher here? Because I know some domestic workers who said, I was a teacher back in the Philippines, but they don't recognize my qualifications, so
No.
I have to be a domestic worker.
No, because we are applying from Philippines, we are applying a job as domestic helper. So some of the Filipino teacher here, or any Filipino that are working outside the home, I mean like maybe in hotel, in restaurant, they are maybe have someone to, like, it's either they are a resident here or they have a family, like they applied a dependent visa. That's it. But even you are a teacher and then you come here to be a teacher also, it is like kinda impossible if you are not have a dependent visa.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I've never seen any Filipino teachers in Hong Kong.
I've seen like not all. Like I mean, I met one of it, and she became a teacher here because her parents is already staying here in Hong Kong and do a lot of business, and they are Hong Kongers already, like Hong Kong residents. So for us, like we don't have any family or like nobody apply us as dependent visa. We cannot work here to use our skills. We just like okay, and not just because
Sure.
being domestic helper is really hard work, and it is a decent job.
Just so people don't, for those that don't understand, when you're employed as a domestic worker, you're effectively working 6 to 7 days a week.
Yup.
And you're talking like from 6 or 7 in the morning till 10 or 11 at night. And even then, that's borderline illegal. And there will be others who will push that even further.
Yeah.
The bosses, that is, they'll push that even further. But on let's say most days off for most domestic workers is a Sunday, you don't really get the whole 24 hours off. You might get to leave at 9 in the morning, and then you have to come back at 6 in the evening.
Yeah, that most of the, like, not all of the employers, they have limitation to their like for helper. But there's also some employers that they do that one. For me, it's like there's like a good side and a bad side. The good side of it, like some of the employer, they don't want that their helper will getting tired for the next day because this is the start of like a working day for them. But on the bad side, because you are not enjoying your holiday so far, because you're just, when you go out from your employer's home, you just think like, oh, I need to go back on this time. So it seems like they are not still enjoying holidays. But anyway, it is good and a bad.
Yeah, but the limitations. This is why I think when I hear somebody such as yourself say, "I've been here for years," I think, oh, so you've been in Hong Kong a long time, therefore you should know lots of places. But if you've only got 9 hours, you don't really get 9 hours once a week. Then you don't really have a great opportunity
To explore Hong Kong.
to explore, to a great level of detail. And there's no flexibility with saying, oh, but I want to stay out overnight just once. You can't. You're tied to all those hours in that contract.
Yes. Yeah. That is the bad of being like a domestic helper. You don't have any like totally freedom.
Yes. Just so you know, on my visa, I'm also limited as well. So, because I'm employed as a teacher, I am only allowed to work as a teacher. So I can get any job I want as long as it's teaching. Any different company, business, home tutor, private tutor,
Sounds like a
piano
teacher.
tutor, right? But if it's a piano teacher, then I have to be able to teach in English as a piano teacher. Something that maybe a parent might want. They want a native English piano teacher. But I can't come here on my visa, work for a year. I can change it and then work in 7-Eleven, because then I'm seen as taking a native person's job.
Yeah.
So I've got to work for 7 years to get a permanent residency, and then if I wanted to, I could work in 7-Eleven, or I could work as a road sweeper. Okay. So that is a little bit of a limitation, but less than what you have. Everything else I do as not a teacher is illegal, right? But you can't, after 7 years, also become a permanent resident. There's another layer of limitations placed on you, isn't there?
Yeah, that is like a great opportunity for a person like, you know, a Western coming here with that kind of visa. But if you are holding a domestic helper, even you are stay until you died here, you can't be a resident.
Right, unless you marry.
Unless you married, or yeah, that is the only option. Unless you married a resident.
What happens if you have a child here? The child is a resident and you're not. Is that right?
If you are, like for example, it's depend on the like the situation on how you born the baby. Like for example, you came here and you already have like a baby, but the father of it is in the Philippines, and then the baby will granted as a same as a visa of what I am holding. You got it? But if the father of the baby it's a Hong Kongers or a residency, and then that partner can be like change your he can apply your visa as a dependent visa, so that the baby will also follow the visa of the mother.
Right.
That's it.
Okay. Still a limitation though.
Still have a limitation.
Right. And
The visa of the baby is always depend on the visa of the mother. Always, yeah.
That's very convenient again then for immigration purposes.
For immigration
So
purposes.
you can't have what's called a there's a term for it where convenient it's where you make it, you try to get into another country to have the child there, so then they become a citizen of that country. So that rule that they have here negates that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people who come to my country in the UK, they will go there with, say, a medical need, and then they can use the NHS because it's free at the point of entry. It's free for everybody. So you can get people who are called freeloaders who try to get the benefits, and some people don't like that. I mean, there's a minority of people. It's not a big thing.
Yeah.
But the law that you've just talked about stops you in many ways from getting residency through getting pregnant.
If you but I didn't have any plan to resident here.
Of course,
but anyway, so.
But we're not just talking about you, Anne.
Okay, so yeah, anything that you want to know?
Yeah, I want to know then, if you've been here for 8 years, where have you been? Where have you visited in Hong Kong?
Oh, so
apart from the place in my other YouTube video.
Okay, so from the first year, I can share it. From the first year here.
And was you always here?
No.
Oh, okay.
Because it came for the first employer. I don't have any like a free time to go out because yeah, as I told you, like we work 7 days a week, and we just only work like 1 day and have like limitation. I do a lot of part time. Sorry, Hong Kong government. I against your rules, but I do part time, and because I don't want to waste like the time, so I do part time, and I didn't go anywhere here in Hong Kong for that period, like second year in Hong Kong. But sometimes we do like hiking, or sometimes if we have some like statutory holiday, and yeah, we can go in the beach, we can stay overnight sometimes.
Yeah, just so you know, Hong Kong has probably the most public holidays than any other country in the world.
Yeah.
But from experience, bosses will try to negotiate in a way, negotiate by saying, please don't work that holiday day and we'll pay you more money.
Yeah, they will pay double pay.
Right.
So it is up to you. It is always up to the helper if they agreed it or not.
Yeah, because
If you are
life
not-
is so hard. They
Yeah.
need you on that one day. They desperately need you.
Most especially if your employers, like, you know, they are old, like they have some family
Yeah.
coming. Like for example, in Chinese New Year, more of the the Filipino working hard if their employers are in a middle age, because they have a lot of visitor coming and then they need the
Yes.
helpers. So for me, I've never experienced that one.
Would you? Oh, okay. But a lot of those big family gatherings, they would involve the helper anyway,
Yep.
because you have to look after the aged, infirm, while the family are also trying to help.
Okay, there's
But-
also funny because some of the helpers, they like Chinese New Year.
because you
When
get
they're
like 2 or 3 days off.
not that one, and then they don't take the holiday. Because this is what happened when they are, like, for example, some domestic helper taking care of kids, so they must be like with the kid, and then every time that they will, that family will visit to other family, and if they are with the kids, so here in Hong Kong, every Chinese New Year, they people are getting generous. They will give you a lycee. That is
Yes.
called lycee.
Yes.
So they are just happy to
The red
be with
pockets.
it. Yeah,
Red
the red
packets,
packets. So
Oh, okay.
most of the helpers waiting for the Chinese New Year. Lycee.
But I do know.
That's it.
I don't want to be all doom and gloom, because I want to mention
Yeah.
something after what I'm going to say now. But I do know some bosses. So let's say there's a public holiday and then there's a day off, say Sunday and Monday.
Oh.
Some are still not allowed to stay out, even though they've got 2 days off consecutively.
Yep.
The boss will say, no, you still have to come home and then go back out.
Yeah.
So they can't book that, but it depends on the boss, of course. But they are not allowed. It's just another way of limiting them.
Yeah.
And they can't say, take the day off and go to Saigon and sleep overnight. Just get really away from the work. You can't.
Yeah,
It's-
you can't. Some,
yeah.
most, maybe 90% of the employers, they are not allowing their helpers to stay out.
Yeah.
It's because, like, I understand in the place, in the side of the employer, because domestic helpers, they are like, when every time that there's happened to them, and that is the rest of the employer. So I understand with the situation of the employer. If I am an employer, I will also say, it's like, don't go, like, don't stay outside, like overnight outside. It's not, we can't say, or we can't prevent what will be happen. Even though I was just like, I have a trust on you, but I don't have trust other.
Other people, yeah. I think they're speaking more from a point of caution.
In my side, I'm like, I don't have, or I'm not against it. Like, it is for my safety. Why should I, like, get mad to my employer? Like,
Sure,
you don't allow me?
but we've already established that this place is one of the most dangerous, relatively speaking, to the rest of Hong Kong. But you find yourself really safe here. So
Yeah.
what is the potential problem? That's a rhetorical question, but what is the potential problem, right?
Yeah, you have also, like, a right on it. But that's the employer.
Yeah, sure.
So if you are the helpers, you just need to follow the rules of your employer so that you don't have any problem in it. Like, everything will be small.
Yeah. What's the minimum monthly wage for a domestic helper? I can't ever remember.
For now, is maybe they get higher. But when I was working with the other old employers, it is around 4,500 Hong Kong dollars.
4,500. So that's 580 US
Yes.
dollars at the current exchange rate, or 420 British pounds. And is that a lot of money?
And in Philippines.
Yeah, because obviously I'm thinking a lot of domestic workers are here because it is a lot of money and they need to send it back. So how long would it take to earn that amount of money back in the Philippines? And is it a lot of money?
Oh, not that too much. I mean, like, okay, we are working here as domestic helper, and that is the minimum salary here. It is like equivalent into, yeah, it is more than a little bit higher the minimum salary of the teacher in Philippines. So that is crazy, yeah. You are a teacher in Philippines, but most of the domestic helper here get a higher salary than a teacher. So it's like a quite good, but still not so, how do you call this one? Yeah, we earn a little bit more money here, but still it feels like not enough for the family.
For your family?
For, not only
Or
for
for
me,
a Philippine
every
family back
Philippine-
home.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
The But at the same time, you don't pay rent.
Oh yeah, that's a good thing.
Right, so you don't pay rent, and there is also a food budget for some bosses. So it's not just 580, especially if you don't need to pay rent in Hong Kong's rental market, and then you get an allocation of food, a budget for the food as well.
Yeah, sometimes the boss will give you a Wi-Fi password and you can have free
Sometimes.
Wi-Fi. Sometimes.
I've been in a lot of, last so we say, bosses' homes, and sometimes I've needed the password for my work as a home tutor, and the boss will say, "Don't share it with my helpers,"
What?
because they've got to work and they're not allowed.
Oh.
But then that means they're not allowed it when they're not working either. So they've got to focus on their own mobile data. And I know other helpers who have hardly any data,
Yeah.
or they don't have a phone except for Wi-Fi calling, and they've got to go to the park or the library, things like that. But okay, that's an aside. So the $580, sorry, because this will be mostly an American audience. How much of that do you send home? How much of that do you spend here? If I can ask these questions.
Okay, it's based on my experience.
Yeah.
In my situation, sometimes it's depend on what emergencies that my family needs it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I sent like maybe mostly I sent 100 like 1500s.
1,500 Hong Kong.
Yep.
Okay, let me do the conversion.
Yes. Yeah.
Gonna do the conversion. Yeah, I still need to know the conversion, and I've been here long enough. Right. So, someone's screaming at the YouTube now. It's $200. There you go. Rounding up, it's $200 or 140 British pounds.
Okay. So and then the rest of it, like I need to save it. Like you must need to save, but it's dependent. I can say like, okay, if you are a first timer here in Hong Kong, like first year, you really can't save any dollars, because
Why?
most of the domestic helper came here, they leave their family, and also they leave some like they owe money from the bank, so that they have some money to process the papers going back here, going to Hong Kong.
Because you get it's a big fee as well.
Yeah. There's a lot of
It's like 20,000 or 30,000.
God, it's more than that one. It's like maybe 60,000. You need it. Yeah.
$60,000.
Hong Kong dollar.
Yeah.
That is all over. When I come here, I paid.
So in 10 months, you
10
still haven't
months.
paid it off.
Yeah.
Because 10 times 4,500 is 45,000. So you still need another 10 months. That's potentially 50 months to pay it off.
That's why if you are
50 months?
yeah. It's depends.
No.
It's depends because yeah, right. If we really based on my situation, it's like get crazy. Every Filipinos has like different way of coming here.
Sorry, 13 months. Not
Yeah.
50 months. What am I talking about? 50. I can't do math. That's why I'm not a maths teacher. Right, so it's about 12, 13, 14 months. Sorry, that's why your first year. Right, okay, I've stopped
You
you.
cannot
I'm speaking. Sorry.
Yep, you cannot even save any dollars for that first year.
Now, you say that, but is that because you want to pay it off as quickly as possible, or is it because they're saying you must give us that money?
Okay, when I come here, I just only have a friend. I know one friend that are working here already. And I asked like how I can come there in Hong Kong. I want to work in Hong Kong, and then she said like, okay, I want to ask my agency here and find an employer for you, and then I need to pay the agency here in Hong Kong and also in Philippines. So I need a cash, I need a money. So in that time, because I have like a lot of money, so I didn't owe any money in the Philippines. But here, I need to pay the agency by month to get a salary from every month. You will get your salary, like,
Right.
Half of it.
They take it out of your salary.
Take it out.
So it's through some kind of bank mechanism. They just take it.
And then and then the rest you just like divide it. How can I divide it? How can I divide this? You understand it?
was your-
Some I send it to Philippines, and then some is for myself.
So was your first year really tough?
It's really tough. Like not first year, it's a first contract, like maybe 2 years.
Right, but then how much money did you have at the end of the month for yourself?
Oh, I can't really compute it, but I have to do part-time. So the money that I get from my part-time,
That means working your day off to do part-time, by
Yep.
the way. Yeah.
So that's it. And then the remaining is maybe like not more than hundreds, like what, not more than $1,000.
Yeah.
So I just like save it that
Right.
way. So anyway, it's always depends on the on the helpers on how they spend the money. If you really like to go shopping and buying some like expensive stuff, then you don't have any money to save.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you are just, and then there's another way, or there's another situation why you can't save money, because your family is always asking money, and then most of us we can't say no to our family. You see the one that is the Filipino
Yes. The tradition.
tradition.
Is it? Yeah, it's the way the family and the culture are affecting you,
Yeah.
and so you've got to support them as well. So it's more pressure.
More pressure, more obligation, like you shoulder a lot of burden in your life when you are working as a domestic helper, you know, because okay, so to all the Filipino, not all, but most of the relatives or family that's the Filipino here in Hong Kong, they always dependent.
Yes.
They always depend on their family that are working outside country.
You mean they have it? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
And then it's like kind of sucks because they were like, they don't think, oh my god, I'm sorry, they don't think the hardness that we are experiencing here. They just think like, oh, it's $1, they have a money, and then they don't have any like the asset, like nothing's happened, or they just think like, oh, it is easy to get money in other country, in abroad.
So as much as I've set this up so that people can understand what life is like for you living here, are you saying that even people in the Philippines don't understand what life is like
Exactly.
here for you?
Exactly. Unless they will not, you know, come here and work as a domestic helper.
Right.
They will never feel like they will never think like, oh, how does they work? Is the eat properly? Is the like they can sleep properly on time or what? No, they didn't think that way.
Right. So who's there to look after your mental well-being
Just you, just myself.
and your friends here?
Actually, in my situation, maybe I am strong enough to manage or to fight my homesickness and my anxiety sometimes. But being a domestic helper or being an overseas worker, you need to fight that emotions. You need to be strong
Sure.
enough. If you are not strong, and then don't ever think that you will go outside country.
Right.
All the domestic helper here is like suffering, most of them like depression, but they still need to be strong.
Yeah, it's kind of another burden placed on women.
Yeah.
They need to be strong because they need to be strong for other people, but then they've also got mental problems to deal with, but no one's there.
And it's really
look after
hard
them.
because, okay,
It's always harder for women.
it is not only a woman, but yeah, most especially is a woman, and we need to fight what our like in our situation. We need also to fight the problems that the family in Philippines like put in you,
Yeah.
and then we need to tell our employers. Some of the employers are not that so considerate to
Yeah, they're not
think like,
uncaring.
oh, why you are so do you have any problem, and how can I help you or whatever. They don't. If you do some mistakes, some of the employer will just like yelling you like
Yeah.
like an animals. Yeah,
You're just like a tool.
yeah,
Just do the job.
yeah.
Yeah, they don't want to know your personal problems.
So in domestic situation, you really need to tell many things. Like you are, like for example, like you are here. I am a domestic helper. I deal around me. I tell my employer. I tell my family. I tell the other people. We're always dealing. So you need like being very smart enough to fight your problems to survive.
Sure.
That's it. It's not really very easy.
Something that I've always wondered about, and I've never asked, is if there are, I think there's like 250,000 or 300,000 Philippine women here. I mean, how often do you go back to the Philippines?
Every after the contract.
Okay. Do you ever notice like a shortage of women in the Philippines? Because so many are leaving to become what is essentially what we would call in the West the main breadwinner. Do you know that? The main breadwinner?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you ever find walking around when you go back, like, where are all the women? Is there like a noticeable drop? And all the men are just like, where are all the women?
Oh, I think. Oh no, because you just kidding that one.
No, but
I
I'm
know,
kind
like-
of. I don't know what life is like when hundreds of thousands of people from a country, and yours is an island nation, so
Yeah.
the people who leave, it might not be even spread. So some islands, I don't know. It's half joke, but I'm half curious as to the seriousness of it. Like, how much difference?
It's it's not. I think it's like for me because
Nothing. There's no difference.
It's no differences because we are getting old, and then there's somebody like a new generation also.
Okay,
So
okay.
it's like, oh, okay.
Okay, maybe it's just a silly question, but I just imagine because it's not just Hong Kong. Because
Yes,
people will go to
alright.
Macau, Kuwait,
All over the world, you can see Filipinos.
right, Canada, and so I'm wondering. So it's more than 300 or 400,000 women, because I'm just talking about Hong Kong.
Yep.
But as I'm getting more deep into thinking about this, you're looking at 500,000, 600,000 maybe.
Yeah.
And so I'm just wondering if there's like a drain.
I think there is no any like effect when
Okay.
when Filipino or Filipina go out from the country in Philippines, because there's like a lot of Filipino also that they have relationship more than one partner. So how can you say that one? I can't
Okay.
say the difference.
Okay. Maybe my brain isn't so stupid, but this is the most appropriate time to talk about our sponsor, Bonaqua. This is lightly carbonated water that's been mineralized with sulfate, potassium chloride, and sodium chloride. There you go. Why aren't you drinking yours?
That's yours.
That's mine as well.
Yep.
Gonna get drunk tonight. Right, that was our first
Okay.
sponsor.
So anything else do you want to know about helper or
Well, there are two things. One, part-time work is very attractive because it pays a higher rate.
yeah,
per hour.
It's hourly, yeah.
Yeah, it's hourly for a start, and I've seen people like look and ask me for this. They want to do it as well to get extra money. And then the second part that I wanted to talk about is that Western bosses are more desirable than Chinese bosses
Oh yeah.
because they're much more relaxed. They might let you finish early, give you more of a free time on that Sunday, because Westerners, the idea of having a live-in maid from the UK especially, it's like a class issue. It's like only the very rich could afford a housemaid, a nanny, or a wet nurse. Do you know what a wet nurse is?
Yeah.
In my country, and we're talking in the 19th century, and then slowly it's been phased out, and maybe only the prince and the princess of England have these things. I don't know. Maybe some Russians in London, but otherwise we have to, as if we raise a family, we have to just do it ourselves. And so that mentality comes here, and maybe they need a helper to walk the dogs or to do the shopping and tidy the house. But once it's done, it's like, yeah, you can just go and do whatever you want,
Yeah, that's
because
the-
they are more than willing to do the rest of it.
Yep.
Right.
So there's like a lot of I don't know if
Cheers.
I can I don't know if I can say or
Thank you.
share it. Because a lot of helper also are looking for the Western bosses. Yeah, that's true. They are more like, they work not that so work as a, you are working in Chinese family. But not all Chinese family are very strict. But
Yeah, of
maybe
course not.
they're just like being more careful.
We are generalizing here.
Yeah.
We have to say we are generalizing. Yeah.
And then most of the Filipina or like domestic helper, they are always how do you call it? They are always looking for a Western employer. First is like they have more freedom than in a Chinese family.
Yeah. Can't blame them. They only
And
want
of course,
to better themselves.
the Western people, they don't want that helper will always, they are very hands-on for the kids. Most of the Chinese family, they rely every single, needs of the kids to their helper.
Yes.
But in a Western, just like, okay, just to be with my kids during daytime, but nighttime they will sleep with us. The world that wants to take care.
That's quite common where the domestic worker has to sleep with the child.
Yeah, that is.
So they have to put up with the concerns of the child, and the parents can have a nice, peaceful sleep.
Yeah.
They don't have to worry about it unless the kid is obviously physically sick and it needs the parents' attention. They get a good night's sleep.
That is okay. In my experience, that is really like. Okay, I have an experience of taking care of a newborn baby, and it's like I do a lot, from like everything of the baby. I did it to myself.
Okay, there's jokes there I could make, but I'm not going there.
And that's like, no, that is my employer's baby.
I didn't even say anything. You didn't say anything. What are you on about? What are you talking about?
You just were like, okay, I have a joke and then I know what it is. But then
that wasn't going to be my joke though, but it's fine.
That is the difference between Western and the Chinese parents.
Right.
They always Chinese parents, they are always rely. Maybe not all parents, but most.
Yeah. I notice as an English teacher who works in other people's homes. I mean, maybe I've just got great clients, but they're really friendly to their domestic helper and friendly, obviously, with me. So if they're being really awkward with me, then no doubt they're going to be awkward with the domestic worker because they'll see them as something less. Whereas I'm coming in as a professional for that hour, so to speak, they'll have less respect for the domestic worker as well. But I was going to say that I can't remember now. Okay, I forgot it. I'll come back to it.
What I can say to you.
No, it was about going inside their homes and getting that perspective of seeing how they live together, because in effect it's an extended family. You've got your family. Oh, I remember what I was going to say now. It's a family plus one or two or three. I've been in that home where you've got a family with 3 children and they all have a separate helper. So then you're talking 8 people in the family living together, and they've got a big apartment to accommodate it. But as a teacher coming in, I'm a very physical teacher. As an English teacher, with boys and girls, I will play with them. But I always get the impression that the parents don't do this. They're not physical with their children in the same way. Sure, they'll take them to the park, they'll take them to an activity, but they won't play fight and prod them
they are not very playful with their kids.
Right, and it's left to a woman.
Yeah.
In your case, the domestic helper, to do that.
Yep.
And then even the way you play is different to the way I play. And I know some teachers can get a job here as like a part-time dad. Some Western teachers can get a job as a part-time dad where maybe the Chinese father is off on holiday, a work holiday, or he's working abroad, and so the children are being raised without a father figure. So you can actually employ a part-time father figure to instill some kind of behavioral aspects that you will have lacking from there being no male figure there. Get a lot of money for that, and I've never done it. I would like to.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. So I hope you can get it.
Well, yes, I think I've seen it as like high as 1,600 an hour.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
But we're talking like Repulse Bay on the south side of Hong Kong Island.
That's super.
Yeah. But that's where all the rich people are.
They are only rich people. But anyway, so what else do you want to know?
I wanted to talk about a little bit more about the perspective of Philippines people in the Philippines, and more of this pressure that they don't understand that you're going through. But then, if you have a child, what is the pressure on the child as well that doesn't have their mother?
why we talk this one? I'm so emotional, like, you know, when we're talking about kids, because I am a mother. Oh
Right.
Lord,
But you're going back tomorrow.
Yeah, you didn't know it.
Okay, but okay. Well, if it's too difficult, then don't say anything. But let me make an observation here. I've always saw the irony of a mother leaving their home country to raise someone else's children,
That is
and then they can't raise their own children to the same intimate degree, and they got to rely on grandparents or sisters or the husband to raise that child.
Yeah, that is the most like difficult, and it's really hard to tell as a mother, because as a mother, I am a single mom, by the way, and you know, the first year that I left my son, I think like I can't live without my son, and it's really hurting me a lot, especially when you knowing that your son is getting sick, and there's like you can't take care of it, and while you are taking care of the babies of other family, and then your son is getting sick. That is really like a bit like a very hard things that you need to fight with it.
Yeah.
Some of the mothers just like, you know, end up of ending their life because of the depression.
Right.
So it's not easy for us.
Yeah. But you'll see your son tomorrow. Yeah. How old is he?
It's 11 years old.
Okay. That's good. Right at the age of when they get awkward because they're going to go through puberty and they're going to be a teenager, and then you're going to think, shit, why did I come back?
So that is the for me, that is like it's really hard also, because I leave my son very young. He's
Yes.
only like 1.5 years. I leave it, and when I came back here in Philippines, like the emotions, the connection of being as mother and son is faded.
Yeah.
You just only put in their mind that, yep, you are my mother, but in oh my god, in the heart, it's like there's any connection in it.
I understand, because I was separated from my mother for many years. Okay, that's why I want to talk about my side of things and give you a break from thinking about it. Okay, sorry if it's a really touching subject, but yeah, I do understand, because my mum and dad went through a divorce, and I was like 8 or 9 at the time, and my dad took me and my sister, so she was 5 or 6, and then for long periods of time, and I remember one period of time, 7 years without my mum. But part of it was because she didn't want to come back to the UK, because if she had to, she would have to pay child support, and she didn't. Right? And the story goes deeper and deeper and deeper, because part of it was that my mum wanted to give the money to me and my sister exclusively, but my dad was like, no, because I've got this other child to look after, because it was my dad remarried and she had a child, so he was using his money to raise that child, but he was also using his money to raise us two. So what difference does it make? Just give us the money, so to speak. And
How
he'll
did you
spend
feel
it.
on that time? Because I don't want that my son will feel like will get mad at me at the end. So do you feel any like?
I think one of the consequences is that I don't have an intimate connection with my mother. I love her, of course, and then but living with my dad, I don't have total intimacy with him, because he never understood me and I never understood him. So because fathers and sons, right, there's always going to be a conflict, and so he can never understand me on a certain level. Think about it like this: as a child, if I've done something, he could punish me, but because I'm so young, there's a way that I can't express myself, but I'll keep it in my mind because it was an emotional moment. And then when I get to 20, 21 or 30 and I want to explain something, to him he's forgotten it, because it wasn't the emotional traumatic moment that it is for me. So he could say, I don't know what you're talking about. So now I'm in a catch-22 where I'm old enough to articulate and say, this is what you should have done, and I wanted you to do this, but he could say, I don't remember. But when I was younger, I can't say the thing I needed to say, but he's in full command of the situation. And I can't reassert control over that past, so I have to let go. So he will never understand me. And the distance from my mum is that I will never have that intimacy.
That's the reason also why should I really want to go back to Philippines.
Right.
I want to rebuild the connections.
Yeah, you should.
Of my to my son.
You should.
I don't want that my sons will get like everyone will getting old or go into teenage and they will like, oh, I don't have any feelings to you as a mother because you are not in my side. So I think it is not too late.
Yeah. So from the age of 26, I've lived on my own. Lived in student house at uni, just fended for myself. So that means I do my own shopping. So I remember this one time my mum came to visit. Now obviously when me and my sister went above 18, she was more of a presence in the UK because we were above that age where we required child maintenance, right? I don't want to sound cynical about this. You know what cynical means? Okay. But that's what happened. And then she came to visit when I was 26 and I was shopping and she came with me. But she got irritated by my way of shopping because that's me shopping. And I like to shop the way I shop. And it was really weird having my mum come in and say, and comment on the way I'm doing things. It's like, but I'm 26, 27.
I can do my own.
I can do it myself, and I am trying to do it myself. You're only supposed to spectate. And I'm thinking of my budget. I'm thinking, right, I need to get this, I need to get that. And she's like, just buy it, I'll buy it for you. Come on. And I'm like, no, you don't need to buy it for me because I can afford it. I just want to consider it, but no. So she stepped in just to get me to buy these things, which was nice, but in a way, it's like you're taking control of something as mundane as shopping. And then I visited the UK in 2017. So now I'm 36, 37, and we had an argument. And some of it, I think, was built up from the fact that we just don't understand each other. And we can't say to each other's faces in a cordial way what we need to say. And it's got to get held pent up, and then it's boom, it's exploded onto each other.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's too many differences.
Oh my god, I really want to stop on that situation for my son, so that's why I really want to.
But you can also see, this is important as well, I'm not emotionally affected by this. I can talk about it as a man, one. But two, I'm talking about my parents in this way, and I'm not holding back. I will just say, yeah, there are problems, and this is, from my perspective, these are the problems. And that's tough shit. That's just the way it is. But I also know my sister has a better relationship with my mother because they're actually living close together right now. My mum moved to where my sister lives, and she's been there for many years, and she's looked after her children as a grandmother, right? And she'll visit her many times. But I'm thinking, well, I've been here since 2012, and you've never bothered to visit. And part of me feels resentment because they would say, yeah, but you're too far away. There's always an excuse. And those excuses have continued since my dad separated us from my mum. There's always been an excuse. And so it's very hard for me to accept that as being the reason. It is the reason, but it's another one. And I can't see it in isolation of all the other excuses from my 20s and my teenage years. Right? But actually no one from my family has come to Hong Kong to visit me.
It's too far.
Only certain friends have come to visit. So they stand out for me. It's like, I never expected them to come. Even an ex-girlfriend came.
You're so brave enough, you know? You just raise it.
Right, but I'm very blasé, very casual about it. And I'm saying I'm doing this partly because it's true, but because of your relationship with your kid, I wouldn't want you to have a son that is that blasé. That's a French word, by the way. Just like very dismissive of my relationship with my mother. I still love her, but there's a detachment because I didn't grow up with her.
Oh my god, I don't want to feel that way in my son's when he is. I want that.
But your son is also not me.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Yeah,
that's it. But he is like very attached to me right now.
He is. Good then.
So that's why I wanted to be like to build it and reconnect as a mother and son.
So what you're trying to say is that you want to manipulate him so he's dependent on you
really
again.
Manipulate, I want him to feel like you have a mother, like
Yes,
not
yes.
only providing your needs but physically.
Yes.
That's it. We are maybe we were raised in different ways. Yeah, we believe in different, beliefs. So that's it.
And you know what? The other thing is, I mean, my mum's a lot younger than my dad. Okay, my dad's in his 70s, and my mum is now she's not hit 60 yet. So there's 16 years difference between my mum and my dad, but she's getting to that stage where she needs to be looked after. I can't do that for her, right? And I would also feel guilty if she starts sending me presents, financial presents.
Why?
Because she needs it. I mean, she's nearly hitting 60 and she needs to work, and I don't want that. And so, have you ever seen that film Benjamin Button?
No.
It's a story of a man who's born. In the book, he's born as an old man, and he gets younger and younger and younger, and then he just becomes a fetus, and then whatever is before a fetus. Okay, but in the movie, he's born as an old baby that grows into an old man, that then grows back into a baby. Okay,
Yeah, I just
doesn't
see
make
it
any
in
sense.
a trail.
Right,
Yeah, but
Brad Pitt plays the man who ages backwards, and he's in love with this woman who he meets as a child, and he's an old man. Okay, well, he's fond of her, but as they're growing and she's getting older and he's getting younger, they meet in the middle. So life is perfect, and then she starts to get older and he starts to lose his memory as a child, as a teenager, and she doesn't feel right in having a relationship with someone so young now, so she has to abandon him, so to speak. And so I'm talking about that middle spot, and I feel like I'm passing that now, where maybe in my 30s and my 20s, my mum should have been there for me to help me, and I wouldn't feel guilty. But now, if she tries to help me, forget it. Don't help me in that way.
it's like, I think it's
You need it.
in Philippines it's like kinda opposite, like how do you call this? I don't want to offend all the parents in Philippines.
No, offend them. Then they'll come to the channel and
Yeah,
they'll
really?
have loads of comments
I
and
couldn't-
increase engagement. Maybe I get
Okay,
some subscribers,
So maybe I am
some stalkers. Do it.
I am
Fucking
like
offend the Philippines.
like
Hey, listen to this
okay,
now.
I don't want that. There's a like I think it is a tradition. Like all the parents, most of the parents, they said like they always depend on their kids. Like the parents must obligate, or they how to say it, the kids must be give something to their parents in return.
Well, that's revenge because of their parents.
No, it's just like it's for me. I want to stop it. I want to stop it.
You want to break the
I
wheel.
want to
break the
yes. I
cycle.
want to break that one. That is only that is the last time for me. I don't
Right.
want to pass it to my son in a way.
Okay.
Like it is a bad idea for me, for the parents in the Philippines. I just want to wake up them like, don't ever depend your kids to raise you when you are like you are. Some of them, they are like forcing their kids to give some financial to them.
Yes.
But anyway, I'm not a bad kid. But I don't want that my son or my kids soon, it will be like I am their burden or I am their responsible, because
But it is only natural that children do look after their parents. It
Yes,
is only
always.
natural. But are you trying to say that there's like compared to other cultures, there's like a further emphasis on the children to look after the parents?
because it's so hard to explain, but I just hold it here in inside of me for a very very long
Yeah.
time. Like, oh, parents, don't ever rely to your kids. Even when it's like, okay, this is your payment to us. We raise you, we sent you to school, and you need to pay it back. For me, if you are for me as a parents, also now I don't want that my children will think that way.
Yes.
Because it will affect it. Really, it's really affecting. I don't want that I don't want that my son will like think like, oh, I need to work it hard for me in order to to help and return to my
Yes.
family. I don't want to do it. Okay, as what I did, because
If you want to further break the cycle, you've got to tell him not to have kids. Well, no, you're not allowed to have kids. No.
no, it's like I think like it is, and also I believe that it is not really mistake to born being poor, yeah, but it's our big regret when we die poor. So,
Okay.
so the connection is it like people,
Is-
parents don't ever like it's really hard to explain it.
Is religion a part of this? Because the Philippines is a very Catholic. I'd say very, because I see it as being stricter. There are gender norms. Men are supposed to do this. Women are supposed to do that. Supposed to get married if you have a child out of wedlock. Whereas in the West, religion is sort of like,
Yeah,
we're not.
yeah.
And obviously, the UK, we're Protestant. We kicked out the Catholics. Okay, because we don't want the rules of the Catholics. Do you know the difference between a Protestant and a Catholic?
Yeah,
Okay.
it is like very complicated to talk about religion because for me,
No, but that's what I'm saying. Is it? You can just say yes. Is it a factor that influences the things that we've discussed back in the
yes
Philippines?
and no. Yes, because some of the religion believe that in this way,
Right.
but no, because a lot of people are not also following of what their religion's belief is.
Yeah. I've
Yeah.
met enough Catholic people who other Catholics would find hypocritical.
Anyway, in Philippines we have a lot of religions there. We have mostly
Yeah,
Catholic.
but it's mostly Catholic,
yeah.
isn't it?
Mostly, yes.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Mostly,
So,
yes.
yeah, the way we look at it is obviously my country we have Muslims and what have you, all different
That is
types,
makes
but it's known as a Protestant country. The rest are just minority religions alongside. We still have Catholics,
Yeah.
but they're a minority compared to the main religion. So that's why I said Philippines is a Catholic country because
Yeah,
it's the biggest religion.
Because Catholic is like the biggest religions in Philippines.
I want to end on a hopeful note by asking, what are you going to do when you go back to the Philippines?
Doing the things that I really wanted to do.
First, you've got to get through airport security and make sure that anybody who's watched this isn't there to say, hey, why are you talking shit about... All your fans will be there, of course, or haters, yeah? But
They
after
will
you get
hate
through
us. I
that,
don't care if they will hate me or they will like bashes me.
no fear.
I like basher. So anyway, the things that I need to do when
Yeah.
I go back to Philippines.
By the way, I haven't told anybody, but which part of the Philippines are you from?
Western Visayas.
Western Visayas. And for those who are uneducated like me, what is Western Visayas like? And is there an Eastern Visayas?
Yeah, they have an
Oh, okay,
Eastern.
okay.
They have a Western.
Okay.
So I am located in Western Visayas. We are from.
Do you know that? Do you know this?
Of course. But I don't do it. I'm not friendly enough.
East side, west side?
Yeah, east side, west side.
Gang culture. Anyway, I'm distracted. Go on, anyway. Eastern Visayas.
Yep. We are taking language of Ilongga.
Ilongga.
Yeah, Ilonggo.
Ilonggo.
Yep.
Which is different to Tagalog?
Yeah, because
Or is it
we
similar?
have a lot of, no, it's more different. Tagalog is our region language.
Original.
Region.
Oh, regional.
All
Okay.
people in Philippines can understand, can speak Tagalog.
Okay.
But not me, not like, I don't have any fluency.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm not fluent in Tagalog, I'm not fluent in English.
Oh yeah, I remember you saying you're not fluent in any language.
Yep.
You just...
I just like say it. I'm not even fluent Ilonggo because there's a words of Ilonggos that I can't understand sometimes.
Okay. How many languages are there in the Philippines?
Oh, there's a lot of language.
How many?
I don't really know, but it's more than hundreds.
That's more than the islands then.
Mm-hmm.
How many islands are there in the Philippines?
It's depend on low tide and high tide.
Okay. Hong Kong has over 200 islands, just so you know.
Oh really?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's good then.
I just thought maybe it's one of those facts and figures you might know about how many islands are there in the Philippines, but there's a lot of islands.
It's a lot of island.
So I can understand
I'm not
each
really-
island might have a different language, regional
Yeah,
language, right?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
But Tagalog is the overriding. Everyone should speak it.
Yeah, everyone
Yeah.
speak it. I understand. Not
Just like
maybe.
everyone should speak English in the world.
Yeah. So what do you want me to say? I mean, like what,
Where are you going to go? What are you going to do?
when
Sorry,
go
I drove you off the point again just to make some jokes. But yeah.
When I go back to Philippines, yes, I do the things that I really wanted. Like, for example, the main reason is to be reconnected with my son and do things that I can't do here in Hong Kong, like YouTube channel. Yes, I wanna I wanna continue my YouTube channel there.
I'll put a link in the show description.
I can't see myself. Maybe I'm just too dark. Anyway, I do a YouTube channel more on, and then maybe start.
Which you couldn't do here, you said.
I can do, yes.
But it's hard.
It's not that so hard, but
No, you're supposed to say yes and play up the idea that it's hard, and then the viewers are more sympathetic. That's what
Really?
yeah, that's what you're
Okay.
supposed to do. Exaggerate it.
okay. So I can still make it here, but the content here is like very limited. I mean, for me, it's my YouTube channel content is just only like a documentary. Like I do interview with my fellow Filipino here.
Which is
their
what
own
I'm doing with
experience.
you, effectively.
Yeah, you just do it back to me, like directly. But anyway, so that is it. Because every Filipino or every person here has a different story, so I love to collect in that one. And then until like I decided to go back to Philippines, the main reasons why I decided, or the reasons why should I go to Philippines is I don't want to get older here to work as a domestic helper.
Yeah.
And it's not, I'm a person that I will always thrive the challenge, and being a domestic helper here is not a challenge for me anymore. Yeah. And it seems like I am limited. Like I can do, I know myself that I can do more, but if I will just staying or like being stayed of my comfort zone, it's not me. It's not that me. I want to always get out from my comfort zone
Yeah.
to do more.
But you're limited by the work.
Yeah, I'm limited here by work. Like for example, I really want to get some license, like ABA license.
What?
ABA,
What's
Applied Behavioral Attitudes.
Oh, okay.
It is for application for the like some if you want to do
Mental care work? Is it like mental care work?
Yep.
Okay.
So here I can't get it because of my visa.
Yeah.
But in Philippines I can apply it. It is
Okay.
easy
So-
to apply it.
So if you had, say, even the restrictions placed on me given to you, would you stay?
I still say maybe no.
Right.
No.
Because I have a lot of
Because-
free time.
Because I really want to do my things, like all of my, like in my head, I want to do it without any limitation.
Sure.
I want free. I want not really free, but I want to. How do you call this one?
You don't want to be held back, other than by
Because
yourself,
I-
maybe.
Okay. I was going to get a video in Saikong, and I saw like there's a three old Filipina. They already like maybe above 60, and they are still working. And I saw like, oh my god, I can't see myself with them. Like I don't want to get old like them. I want to be like, if my age is the same as them, I want like going somewhere, like enjoy your old
Sure.
age. Because and then it comes on my mind like I'm getting older, I'm not getting younger, so I need to do different path of my life, not that being stuck as a helper. There's nothing wrong being a helper, but I don't want to stuck on that situation.
Sure.
I am being comfortable on that. and I don't want it. So I decided to go back in the Philippines. And also, of course, I took a lot of people, like they are not in my level. I mean, like not really. I didn't really, how do you call this one? I didn't say it's like, oh, you are just only a helper. But I want to talk like a people or a person that are higher than me, so that I can, you know, defeat a lot of information,
Yeah,
a lot of ideas, experience to me.
What you're saying is you don't want to be the smartest person in the room. No, I'm not joking now. There is this phrase: if you're the smartest person in the room, then that comes with a kind of attitude and ego that might develop. So what you want to be is not the smartest person in the room. So then you're always learning from everybody who's in your social circle.
Yeah, that's
So that
right.
you get smarter, and then you repeat it. So you're always growing as a person.
I always want to go.
Right. I understand. I mean, I don't want to. I mean, this is a tiny example, but sometimes I've had people approach me and say, "Hey, I want to collaborate on YouTube," and they've got like 10 followers, 10 subscribers, and now I want to learn. And it's like, I'm still trying to get somewhere, and while I am ahead of you, I can't devote and talk about the things that you want to focus on with 10 subscribers that I'm trying to do even at 1,500. So like, you know, someone with 1 million subscribers certainly wouldn't collaborate with me unless they wanted specific key knowledge about Hong Kong, right? And then they would do a promotion. So that's my off the head comparison about wanting to be the smartest person in the room. I've got to find other people who maybe have like, I don't know, 10,000 subscribers.
Yeah, I
Something
am like that.
Right.
Definitely like that.
Sorry to
Like,
make it about YouTube, but we are on YouTube anyway.
So that's me. That's the reason why I really want to go to Philippines, because maybe the way that I talk with my, like for example, like I don't really spend more time with the helpers anyway. I just want to talk people that are higher than me, and then all the information that they are sharing to me, I put it in my mind, and then it's like it makes a decision. Like, oh my God, why should I just think this way? Why is it, or why should I, like, that is comes up on my mind, that I can do more better in Philippines than in other countries.
Some people here as well, when I say some people, I mean domestic workers, Filipino, Indonesian, they're devoted to the job. So you've explained a lot of problems. For some people, they don't care. They need the money. Everything else isn't a concern.
Yeah.
And I know a lady who I visit for their child, and I sometimes make small conversation. I'll say, "Oh, did you enjoy the public holiday yesterday?" "I didn't do it. I worked." And now I can go in and I know, "Did you work yesterday?" "Yeah." "When do you get a day off?" "I only take Sunday off." But then sometimes I don't, because I want to look at the child, get extra money. And her job is really easy. The parents are really cool. So I can understand that she can just make more money, and the parents have extra free time because their life is less burdened, because they've got this person who's devoted to working inside their family unit, right?
Yeah, for me, maybe because like we are not the same like thinking. I thinking like because I hate of receiving same salary in every month. I want to have like, okay, maybe I receive less or I receive more, as long as I can do it myself. I'm just like being tired of being like a helper. There's no, like what I said, I didn't think like it's more challenging to me.
Do you watch any Philippine movies?
I hate movies.
Oh, okay. No, because I kind of half watched this Philippine movie last year. I got the gist of it.
What movie?
Basically, this girl, she's working in Hong Kong, and all of a sudden she is told by her boss that they can't afford her, and then she says, "Well, just pay me half rent but don't tell anybody." And then she works part-time in a restaurant in Lan Kwai Fong, and the police come and she's got to escape, and she meets this guy, and they call each other fake boyfriend, fake girlfriend. I can't remember it. And then it's one of those stories where the woman is put through so much pressure, and then she comes out free at the end of it. But I didn't watch the ending, and I need to find it again. But there are certain things that are happening there that you remind me of with this discussion.
Yeah,
it's really
happened. It's really happened in real life here.
Yeah, but I need to share it with the audience. So now I need to speak to somebody who I know watched it, and then I'll ask them instead.
Yeah, maybe you can say because I just like I'm not a fan of movie. Maybe like
Okay.
actions. You can get it.
Just
but-
action movies. Okay.
So
Okay.
anything that you want me to say?
No, I think I said we'll have an hour together, and I think that's what we've done. I don't want to give you too much pressure.
That's okay.
Um,
I would like to spend it before I leave. I just only have like maybe hours to live here in Hong Kong.
Less than 12 hours. No, you have about 16 hours left. What are you going to do with the other 16 hours besides sleep?
Oh my god. Yeah, get ready to go to the airport.
Really, is that it?
Yeah, I already packed all my things.
Oh.
And I don't have any.
Oh yeah, so
You see it?
do you want to come with me and find some computer equipment in Sham Shui Po?
Where is it here?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay.
Why not?
Right. That's what we're going to do then. So thank you for your time.
It is my pleasure to be your guest.
Featured
Yeah.
on my premier YouTube channel. No need to say it. I already know. You're more than welcome. I hope if you ever come back, we can meet again. Because I've only known Anne for a week. That's it.
A week?
That's all we've known each other for.
Oh yeah.
Basically a week.
You
Right?
just don't tell them how we meet.
And it's been a pleasure to get to know you in this sort of crash course. I said to you, we'll have a crash course friendship,
Oh.
and it's been a pleasure to to get to know you like this.
Yeah, if you have anything, yeah, like if you just think like, oh, when you are sleeping later, why should I just ask on this question? So you can call me anytime.
Thank you. Okay, and don't hassle her at the airport. We were only joking. She didn't say anything too controversial. Leave her alone. Let her be. Right? Don't delay her.
Yeah, so I don't know if what other things your viewer wants to know.
No,
being
I think that's
covered.
enough. I think that's enough. You've
Yep.
given enough of yourself to myself and Hong Kong. Okay?
It's all myself.
Yeah. You just gotta walk around with Sham Shui Po and that's it.
Yeah, sure, I can
Okay.
bring it to you then.
Okay. Cool.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much for watching this far, if you've bothered.
I don't know if they get any knowledge or what.
Yeah, they will.
Just-
They will. They will. It's also going to be a podcast, not just a YouTube thing.
Yeah.
Okay? Okay.
Like, okay, I don't want to say anything.
Okay,
Just-
because I'm really bad at goodbyes. Sometimes I'll say goodbye and I'm still here for 10 more minutes. So we're saying goodbye, right?
Yeah, we
Right,
already
okay,
said.
right.
Is it really bye?
It's
Okay,
really,
bye.
really, bye. Bye. Do it together. 1, 2, 3.
Two, three.
Bye.